If they're $1. Hello, and dramatic pause. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to another episode of Arlocast. Before we get started, we here at Arlocast would like to issue an apology. In the last recorded episode, we broached a topic that we were clearly not properly prepared to discuss, and as a result, we unwittingly spread a very common piece of misinformation. We claimed that pterodactyls are dinosaurs, when apparently they're not. We hope that any dinosaur enthusiasts among our listenership can look past this error. So, what do you say we kick things off with? Let's talk about our guests. This podcast is still young, and as such, there are still many milestones to cross. Our first guest today is the first Arlocast guest to be invited not once, not twice, but thrice. I'm going to pretend that this is because we just love having him on so much and not, because he's the only person I know who likes Kirby. Please welcome AntDude.
Thank you. And also the checks in the mail. I imagine someone might get mad at me being on this multiple times, but I figure I got to go for the record.
Yeah.
That'll be never topped, so I'm excited for the future of this.
Yep, never. We'll make sure. Always AntDude forever.
100%.
Our second guest is one of those great friends that you never get to hang out with, and you're always going, man, we totally need to hang out. We're going to do so much cool stuff, but then, years go by and it doesn't happen, and then there's, a pandemic, and it's like, well, great, who even knows now? But then you decide, at the very least, you can have them on your podcast. We've all got a friend like that, right? Please welcome Wood Hawker. Wood!
I just want to say I have nothing to do with the pterodactyl thing. That apology did not come from me. I knew that.
Exactly. That was a really warm welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm so glad to finally have you on. We're always talking about how we want to collaborate on stuff and do all this fun stuff, and we just never do because life gets in the way. But I'm so glad to have you here now.
It's never lined up, and we've even tried to line this up 7 times. I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so everybody knows AntDude, so we're not going to talk about AntDude.
That's fair. I'm getting sick of it, too, to be honest.
He makes videos on the internet, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
I gotta say, I'm really happy AntDude is here personally, because AntDude and I are really good friends, so this is really comfortable for me.
I know, and we haven't gotten to speak in so long,
I know.
and it's so nice just to hear your voice again.
Yeah, when I heard it was you, I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Same.
Well, everybody's friends with AntDude, because like I said before, he goes to every con, so he's the guy.
I try. It's very tiring, but I try.
We hung out at a con 5 years ago and got to know each other for an entire weekend.
Yeah, I think Retropalooza 2017 was my first one.
And there was a Game on Expo we hung out at.
Yep. And it was a month later or something.
Fun memories.
Yeah, Retropalooza 2018 was when I first met both of you.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was cool.
Except I only got to see you, I think, for a total of 10 seconds, because we had all these grand plans about hanging out, and I'd even go to your house, and then that was when your house was flooding.
Oh yeah, that was a bad weekend. I don't think I was at the con that much. I think I made a 10-second appearance.
You showed up, and I walked up behind you and creepily tapped on your shoulder, and I was like, hey, and then that was it, because you had to deal with your flooding house.
Yeah.
Oh, it stinks. So we missed that opportunity. It was a good time though. But tell us, what is your channel?
Oh,
tell us about it.
I don't know. My channel is BeatEmUps on YouTube, and I make videos mostly about the Switch, but sometimes other things. I have fun over there. I just make whatever I want. It really is.
We basically do the same thing. We just talk about Nintendo and fun stuff.
It's always hard to explain what my channel is, because it's even when I meet people in real life that want to know what I do, they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I do YouTube. And they're like, oh, gaming videos? I'm like, yeah, gaming videos. What kind? The Let's Plays? And I'm like, sometimes, and then other times reviews, and other times this, and there's not really one thing, and they look at me really confused, and I'm like, sorry, I don't know what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been there.
You are peak content creator. When someone asks, you use the business term. You are a content creator.
Just say reviewer.
I just look at them in the eyes and say, "Do you not know who I am?"
Oh,
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna explain
already
it to
know who
you.
I am? Are you serious? Let me take off my sunglasses.
Like Kim and I went to like our neighbor's house for dinner the other night, and their mom was trying really hard to understand what I do on the internet.
Yeah.
And she just did. You could tell in her eyes she wasn't understanding it for a second. She was like, "So you edit videos for people?" I was like, "No, myself." How do you get paid to edit for yourself? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, my experience with that, forgive me if I've told this story on the podcast before, I can't remember, but like literally 100%, literally all of them. You tell anybody like over the age of like, I don't know, 30 or 40 or something, like, what do you do? I'm a YouTuber. Like, oh, like what kind? And I say like gaming. Like, oh, my son, he really wants to do that.
Yeah.
He's really into
Every
that.
time.
Literally every individual. Like, and I go, oh yeah, it's Fortnite, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a Fortnite YouTuber or streamer. It's just funny. Like every single time. Oh yeah, my son, he's really into. He wants to do that.
And then they start asking you like, how do I get him set up? Like, is that something that he can do? And you don't have it in your heart to tell him. Probably not worth your time, honestly.
Probably not. Statistically, tell him that he's gonna fail and to give up on all of his dreams forever.
Yeah. Just crush him. Just crush him right there and then.
All these conversations are always just so traumatic at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No,
really
sorry,
are.
your kid will never live up to their dreams.
Oh my god.
And then you look down, and their son is actually there, and he's like 3, and he's just like, "What is he saying, mommy?" And then he cries, and then you run away.
And then he does, and then they do a Fortnite dance and run away.
I can't play Fortnite online.
And then he goes off and becomes famous, way more famous than we are.
It's true. It's true.
And then he makes an exposed video on me. He said I'd never make it.
This is YouTube. This is how it works.
Yeah, it is.
It's unpredictable. Do you have any fun projects coming up? What are you working on right now?
Honestly, I work like day to day. Like whatever I feel like doing that week is what I throw together. So I mean, not really. I mean, I managed to get the OLED early, and I've been making videos with that.
Nice.
I'm excited for the 8th when Dread and the white one comes out, and then I'll make more videos on those and a Dread review. And I actually I guess the one thing I'm working on is I just ordered a ton of weird accessories from Etsy because they never seem to end. And that's been something that's done really well on my channel, is buying these weird accessories and trying them out with my wife Kim. And yeah, we just bought a ton more. It's ridiculous. Every time I go to, I swear, and I don't want to sound too full of myself, but I am keeping the weird accessory trend on Etsy alive because I don't know why people are making these things other than to hope they end up in one of my videos, because some of them are so pointless.
Oh, that's awesome. Give me one good example.
Well, a spoiler for what's coming up. I bought, there's a roulette wheel that you slot your Switch games into, and then you spin the wheel, and then whatever game it lands on, you're supposed to play. Why?
That's amazing.
Why would anyone need that or make it unless you're hoping it ends up in a weird YouTube video?
That's amazing.
That's great. When I was a kid, I had a book that was like weird Japanese inventions, and it was all basically like that. Like stuff is just like, why is this a thing?
All of them is like, why is this a thing?
But you can enjoy that it exists.
But I don't know. It's fun. I love it.
Well, yeah. Thanks again for being on. He's a little tired. I made him get up a little early.
I'm very tired. I'm
you in
cradling
bed?
a giant coffee mug right now.
You said you were in bed. Are you recording from bed right now?
No, I got out of bed. It is midday, so I really shouldn't go on about it, but, I woke up at 11 for the podcast and expected to see the sunrise. I guess it rises earlier than that? I don't know.
A little bit, yeah. At this time of year,
I'll try 10 o'clock tomorrow and see if I can catch it.
Yeah, you might. Just keep scooting it back a little at a time. Ant, what are you currently working on?
Well, I know last time I was on here, I was hyping up the Wario retrospective that I was doing. That's gone out, and that was a massive success, actually, which is crazy.
I knew it'd do good. People, like, that is a really untapped series.
You know how the app will tell you what your video is, how it's performing compared to the last 10, I guess.
Yeah.
I expected that to straight up be 9 and 10. and that shot to #1 like within a couple days. So
that's terrific.
That was very heartwarming. Now though, I've been playing a lot of Monkey Ball Banana Mania, and I want to do a video on that because that might be one of my games of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
People have mixed opinions on it, but I loved Monkey Ball like all my life. Well, all my life, even before it was invented. With the first GameCube one, and it's fantastic. So I want to do some like retrospective on that as well. So I guess that would be my thing. Q4 is ramping up like now, so video production and work, it's gonna be rough. After
3 months. This is the 3 months. This is it. I'm glad I just had a vacation. Like I needed that vacation because like it's the next 90 days. Mm-hmm. Oh boy!
I'm slowly counting down till January 1st, where I can go to sleep again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what, you guys, this is a big episode right here. This is a big one. This is the first one I've been able to do since we had a big old Nintendo Direct. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about, so we might as well jump right into the first segment of the show. It's the second one. This first segment is let's talk about our guests. Second one, let's talk about that Direct. Where to begin? Where to begin? You know, I know where to begin. And I wanted you on specifically Kirby.
I can't imagine why you would call on me. I said this before the podcast, but I was on vacation during the Direct, and I got like a little cold like right after getting home. So it was not in the cards for me to be on the internet to do my live reactions. Like 3 other people asked me to record, and I was not able to do it because I was sick. So I'm happy to give the exclusive, I guess, for the Kirby guys' thoughts on Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And it looks good.
That's a great exclusive.
Moving on.
I don't like. It's funny, like, because so many people asked me. I'm like pre-thinking what my answer to the question would be, and I was watching the trailer over and over again. And I'm sure if I like put a magnifying glass to it, I could find some really cool stuff. But you know, it's a pretty basic, like, oh, it's Kirby in 3D, cool. But they don't show a ton yet because they like to drip feed information. So it just looks competent. It's the first bit of ambition Kirby's had in 5 years, whenever the Planet Robobot came out. And yeah, I mean, the thing that's exciting to me is knowing the Switch's luck. This is going to be like the best-selling Kirby game of all time or something.
Oh, I guarantee it. I mean, it's going to double it's going to double Star Allies. Like, I have no doubt. It's definitely going to be the best-selling. So, more people than I can count. Just talking about it, like, just being like, I've never played a Kirby. I'm playing this Kirby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that part's it's very exciting. I hope it leads to like a decent anniversary year. Normally, Nintendo celebrates Kirby pretty okay for its anniversary. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like based on just the trailer, I didn't think there was too much to glean aside from just the satisfaction of knowing they're finally doing it. Mm-hmm. It still looks to be level based, not open world, not true open world. But so far, it's like all the abilities were returning. The environments were relatively standard Kirby affair. It just looked really good. And I think that's all I can really care for, honestly. It's just their first foray into 3D. They just don't screw it up.
Yeah, my thing about the world, because I get a lot, because in my my discussion video, I talked about how, to me, it kind of feels like free roam. And a lot of people are like, nah, it's definitely going to be level-based. And like, my thing is, I'm not saying, like, open world. You know, like, go anywhere, sandbox, anywhere you want. I mean, like, and I could be wrong. It could be linear, level-based. To me, it looks like linear paths, definitely, but, like, free traversal within those. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you go on this path to go toward this place.
Sounds like almost Mario 64-ish.
Yeah, maybe, or like just not like
branching
levels.
Open world, but you have specific objectives or pathways to get to things.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a linear thing to get through this little area, but you can still like run back and forth between the areas. Maybe there's like a hub area or something. Like, I don't know. That's what it looks like to me, and I absolutely could be wrong. But I'm not in the camp that most people are, that it's like 100% level-based 3D world style linear. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem that way to me. It seems like these individual areas are going to have like, oh, you get to the end of this spot to get the thing at the end, but not necessarily like, oh, I choose it on a world map and I go in. And you know what I'm saying? Like it feels connected. It feels like a big, and even if I'm wrong, I like that at least visually and thematically, it basically is, you know, like it's set place in this one place. It's not just these
in this one
disconnected
post-apocalyptic, like from Nier Automata or Last of Us town.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like the things that are going to be really exciting for this, they were never going to show in their first trailer, like new abilities, how that stuff works. Like the actual level progression is somewhat exciting. If there's any hidden unlockables, because it's a 3D game, not a 2D game. And then the lore, if they go crazy with the, like, normal Kirby games start off with, oh, my cake is gone, and then you fight God.
yeah.
We're starting off in like a post-apocalyptic area. I can only imagine where we're going with this.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
That part's exciting.
Yeah, it's another thing that people were getting on my case about, because they're like, well, Kirby's done this kind of thing before, but that's the thing, that it's never at the beginning. It's never at the forefront. It's never like the theme of the game that you see on the box art. And that's what's so fun. The fact that it's starting there, it's like, where can it go from there? That is
exactly.
That's so exciting.
Exactly. So it's definitely very exciting. But I mean, I like the Nintendo method of showing a very bare bones trailer and then revealing stuff over time to ramp up instead of get everyone excited and then it tapers off.
Yeah.
So it was just satisfying to see that it's happening. But I honestly, I feel like unless you really, get every little detail and look at every single frame, there's not a ton to glean just yet, aside from just being excited for next year.
Yeah, it's true that, like, if they do follow the same trend that Nintendo does, and that's one thing that's really exciting, because, like, Luigi's Mansion 3, I love it. I think it's a masterpiece, or at least almost. But that initial trailer was, like, pretty darn underwhelming. So the fact that I'm actually getting a decent amount of stuff from this one and being like, whoa, that's a lot of really cool elements. They only have up to go from here. There's probably, like a whole new ability, like the core mechanic of the game, just more areas to see. Like, it's very exciting knowing that there's more to come.
For sure. And I just hope, and again, I hope the anniversary stuff, if they have a new logo and they plan some extra activities, I mean, that just does good for me as a gamer and as a content creator, because then I'll be eating all of 2022. I know Kirby 64 is going to drop, and I guess we'll talk about that also on the 64 service, and that game has really good multiplayer. So having that online is really exciting. I imagine they can tie that into the anniversary stuff somehow. But yeah, it's obviously going to be a good time to be a Kirby fan, which is my bread and butter, so... Yeah,
I didn't know that the 64 had multiplayer. That's cool. Wood, what about you? Yep. How excited are you for Kirby?
Yeah.
Are you awake?
I'm more excited at the concept of them doing these more ambitious titles for their main character IPs.
Yeah, that's me too. Absolutely. Like, I'm not a big Kirby guy.
Yeah, Kirby, like, it looks like Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, kind of happy about that, because it makes me think they've seen the success with Odyssey. Now they're trying something new with Kirby. They've got a new Metroid Prime coming out, and obviously a Dread, so you've got Metroids coming back too. I'd love to see some of their other franchises come back. I mean, my first thought is a Donkey Kong game in this style, similar style to Kirby.
That's what we need.
And then when you start getting into all of these IPs coming back, that's when you look at games like F-Zero and getting their own ambitious reimagined game. Because if Nintendo gets to the point where they realize they can put out any game like that and it will just sell because of the install base and people excited to play something, that's when we can start taking more risks on games that Nintendo maybe thought wouldn't sell before.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one reason we're kind of like they're giving us a lot of great stuff, but it's also kind of nerve-wracking, because if the Switch only has another few like solid years of being like the primary console with the big fat install base, and it's just kind of like you don't have that much longer to get that audience who's just like, everybody's got a Switch and they're all hungry for games, because if they release a new one and then there you go, you kind of reset the install base, you make a new F-Zero for it, then it's like you've started all over again. It might not sell. Like, this is the prime time to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they've been working on stuff, because honestly, it's been really quiet for a year or two now on Nintendo's front. Other than working on Zelda and, handing off Metroid, we don't really know what they've really been doing. So maybe they have been planning stuff like this and working on stuff for a while. It's just all been postponed.
It's like one weird optimistic side to all of 2020, when all the companies were quiet. We don't really know how much everyone was impacted. For all we know, they could have been in the planning stages and getting all this stuff done, and they didn't have to talk about everything because of the state of the world. So I imagine in the next year or so, we could just be getting banger after banger because they were actually able to work on some stuff just slowly throughout the year. And that part's exciting, especially at the, I guess, the halfway point or just past the halfway point of the Switch's life when things start getting really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, next year already has a lot of games lined up, but we don't really have an idea of past that. And a lot of them are kind of sequels. So, yeah, as far as out of the blue projects, we really don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that DK game?
I want it.
Where's that DK game that was rumored?
I'd be excited for that.
I don't think it's going to be 3D, though. That's what I don't know. Well, see, that's the thing. We're going off all these rumors, and pretty much all the rumors keep being true, but they get the details wrong.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're saying it's a 2D DK makes me think, okay, maybe it will be a 3D DK, because they said there'd be a Metroid, but it might be like a super remake, and they were just 100% wrong.
I mean, one of these days we might still get Star Fox Grand Prix. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I don't think so, but maybe.
To be fair, that last 2D DK was really good.
It was so good.
So I could see them wanting to try another one of those, but I also feel like maybe they perfected it with that last one, and what can you do with another one?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, let's touch on N64. So that's pretty cool, it's really weird because we thought Game Boy was coming at first, and I was like, that makes sense because that's a lot less exciting. But then there it is, N64 games. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think the N64 library is weird. I think people will realize with the 64 online service that the console is mostly just Nintendo games and then a couple oddball third parties that I think the licensing is so all over the place will never get released on the service. Chameleon Twist is not going to ever make the jump.
Jet Force Gemini.
I don't think. Yeah, Jet Force. Well, actually, that might because that's rare, and they're actually getting Banjo on there.
That's true. That'd be cool.
Which is actually that was my big pop off.
Yeah, that's amazing right there.
Moment. They remembered Paper Mario, which was very
yeah. There's people are gonna get to play it.
I know. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's good.
We'll finally have a good Paper Mario on the Switch.
I know. Yeah.
Oh no, about to throw hands right now.
I think Banjo, my theory on Banjo making it was that he's already in Smash, so there's some kind of Nintendo licensing cooperation there where it made it way easier to get that. I don't know about other Rare games. I think that might be tougher without having to deal with licensing things again. And then GoldenEye, I would say, is impossible due to MGM or whatever.
That's a mess.
James Bond licensing.
They can't even make their own games. They can't even just make games, so they're definitely not going to have them. Ugh, jeez.
I think the most exciting part about all of it is the online features and being able to play Mario Kart 64 online.
Yeah, that's pretty
Mario
nuts.
Kart 64 online, Mario Tennis will be online. Even Mario Golf on 64 is really fun. If they can throw Mario Party 2 and 3, it would have to be ways out because they're hyping up superstars now.
Yeah.
But Star Fox 64 online. If they put Smash 64 that'd be pretty cool. I don't see why not.
That would be so good.
Yeah.
If Ultimate is truly ending its DLC, I can see them putting Smash 64 on. They won't have to hype up Ultimate as much anymore. And that's the biggest strength of the 64 is its multiplayer, I think. So yeah, that part, God, that's gonna be really good.
That part alone makes it worth paying more for the expansion pack. Because I feel like without that online feature, it's really, I gotta pay monthly to access 64 games for the rest of my life on Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
But the online features is what gives that value, because that's actual work and effort they put into giving us a service there that I'm willing to pay for.
And I know people tend to give the online service some crap, with the mobile app and whatnot. But I've played NES and Super Nintendo online before, and it's been fine. And I imagine as long as the latency is good on 64, that'll be good too. Which, that's just exciting.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it at all. I think I haven't played it since I was 11. But I remember the multiplayer in Star Fox 64 being very, very overlooked. People don't really talk about it a lot, but I really liked it.
I didn't even know it had it. What do you do?
It's just battle
It's
mode.
dogfighting.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That does sound awesome, actually.
Oh, this is also the avenue for them to bring back Diddy Kong Racing. Oh man, I'm hyping myself up way too much now.
Yeah, that's another slightly complicated one, but that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on the DS,
Yeah, but they had to remove the rare characters in the DS one. So
I didn't
Banjo
know
and Conker
that.
weren't in that one.
that stinks.
But if they're partnering with Rare, it would be really cool if Nintendo is listening.
Yeah.
We're getting Ocarina and Majora's Mask on the Switch finally, and I feel like it's getting overlooked. Like, everyone has wanted those Zelda games to come to the console for so long, and we finally got them, and I feel like it was kind of just buried in Banjo!
I mean, yeah.
Like, I can't believe it. I'm gonna get to play Majora's on the Switch. Like, it's finally happening, everyone. Am I the only one that noticed?
Well, that's the problem is, like, I mean, really, most things in that Direct were kind of overshadowed by a certain other thing I'd like to talk about today. Who wants to talk
Sega
about
Genesis online?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I guess I've already made a lot of videos about it. Where are you guys at with the Mario movie casting? where are you mentally?
I think it's hilarious, and I don't see an outcome where this movie is good. And I went off on that on my podcast, and it's funny how many people are against me on that. And think that they just, for some reason, have this complete faith that it's going to be an incredible movie because they love Chris Pratt and they can't see any way it's going to be bad.
You can't.
And every time I bring it up or mention it, people are like, yeah, but Chris Pratt's done voice acting before. Good for him. I'm sure he has. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
And I mean, I watched the Lego movie. He did a great job at being a Lego Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
But that's not Mario.
Yeah, it's going to be a good visual set piece, I think. Like, it's cool that it's an origin story because Foreman Spike is in there, and I guess having DK and Cranky Kong means they're going to also show off like some of that construction work that he was doing before going into the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, I wonder how deep into the lore. Like, I'm interested in that part, like the origin story stuff, because I feel like Mario being from Brooklyn has been written out of the lore. But that's what I remember from like the Mario Super Show. So
he has to be from Brooklyn because I guarantee you Chris Pratt and Charlie Day are going to be doing Brooklyn accents because there's no way they can do Italian.
Oh my god,
that's not going to happen. So it's going to be Brooklyn again, which I'm okay with, honestly.
Yeah,
but why is it got to be Chris Pratt?
Because
why?
Because for the entire cast, they just went with like the people that are in everything. Yeah, it was either going to be Chris Pratt or it was going to be who's the Spider-Man guy?
Just Tom Holland.
Yeah, it was going to be one of those because those are the guys that are in everything right now.
And that would probably fit more.
If we could break down the casting here, the ones that really confuse me, I guess, and kind of, I actually do have an image for what this movie might look like based on the casting because I don't see any other way around it.
It does give you a better idea, yeah.
Jack Black as Bowser is weird to me. I love Jack Black.
I'm excited for that.
Every time I say it's weird, people are like, how are you hating on Jack Black? I'm not, but think about Bowser as a character. He growls. He doesn't really have a personality. He's not funny. He doesn't really say or do much of anything.
Bowser's the funniest Nintendo character. You watch it.
He did speak. He did speak in Mario Sunshine.
He doesn't speak. So
yeah,
at that point, when you're casting Jack Black, unless you're literally just paying Jack Black to go, ugh, you're giving Bowser a voice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A funny voice, a likable voice, which tells me Bowser's not the bad guy.
Oh,
but
he's
also
definitely the bad guy. I think he'll just be a likable bad guy.
I don't think he's the bad guy. I think he's gonna be. Okay, let me hold on. I'm dancing around it, but this is what I think the movie's gonna be. I think it's gonna be off the wall, like not exactly a traditional Mario movie. Like Bowser isn't gonna kidnap Peach and Mario's gonna go save. I think it's gonna be something almost like reality shifting, dimension breaking, where
the original Mario movie.
Yeah, kind of like where like these characters get shifted into like current day New York or something. And I'm not saying I want this because it's a trope, but I'm trying to envision all these voices working. Like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Like he's just going to sound like a person playing a monkey. So what I'm envisioning is like maybe these characters, these people who are played by these actors get trapped in a video game. And they are these Mario characters now. And they're like Jumanji it. And I don't want that to happen, but that's the only thing I can come up with in my brain that these voices make sense doing.
Okay, that you know what? Okay. That is a fascinating theory I hadn't considered. It could be like Mario is a game. Oh, but we and our friends all got trapped in I'm Mario. I'm Luigi. You know what?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not...
Okay.
That's not
And
impossible.
think about it. Charles Martinet's in the movie. So the movie starts. Charles Martinet is Mario.
Yeah.
He's whoop, whoop, wah, whatever. And then something in the real world happens. And the real world is more than likely an animated real world, like the movie Soul, for example, for what I'm picturing. Like it's real, but it's animated still. And then they kind of get merged into this world. And then Chris Pratt's all of a sudden like, hey, what the heck? I was walking here. Now I'm in Mario.
You know what?
That's
fascinating.
what I'm thinking.
I think that is a pretty good potential one. For me, like, when I think about what the plot could be, if you are wrong, and it's not that, and it's not people getting sucked into the game, I mean, we got Shigeru Miyamoto working closely to make a Mario movie. It's definitely Bowser kidnapping Peach and Mario has to go get her.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's just going to be a very basic origin story. You might see Foreman Spike for 5 minutes. You might see Donkey Kong turn into Cranky Kong because that's the lore. And then it's going to be like, oh, there's a princess. You fell down a pipe and there's a big turtle that stole him. Go. And that'll be it. I think if anything, they did say Charles Martinet will show up. I won't spoil the Lego movie, I guess, but I feel like he might have a similar role to a certain actor in the Lego movie, a certain twist in that movie, if anyone has seen that movie. But I just...
So what are they going to do for 90 minutes in between Peach getting kidnapped and Peach being saved?
Just probably slapstick.
Fighting Koopas, fart jokes. It's Illumination we're talking about. Not much.
They're going to go through the grassland, the desert, the water. It's just going to... They're going to run into familiar Mario enemies, and it'll be cool because it will. I think it will be. Like, unfortunately, like the Sonic movie is an outlier. I think the Sonic movie will end up being better. The second one. It's funny to think.
I think the Sonic movie should have set some sort of precedent, and I don't think it was the greatest movie, but that you can do something kind of off the wall and different with the IP to make a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they brought a well-ish known voice actor to play Sonic in for that, and that wasn't too weird. It made a lot of sense.
That was a video game character in real world.
I think off the wall works for these video game movies. I mean, maybe they will just go traditional and try and market it to kids, and we'll just have Jack Black playing Bowser and we won't bat an eye at it. But I don't know. That just seems really... I don't want it, man. I predicted it probably get like... I think I said 56% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
I'm really warming up to your theory because... Even Miyamoto, super traditional. He doesn't want any of the Mario characters to look or sound or be different in any sort of way. So why would he be okay with Jack Black being Bowser? Maybe because Jack Black isn't Bowser. Bowser is Bowser, but a guy who sounds like Jack Black got put into his body. And
You're coming around
I
the
really
woodland.
am.
I like it.
I really am. Like, it answers a lot of questions. It fills in a lot of those like problems.
You can imagine the scene where like these friends or whatever get sucked into the game, and then an animated Miyamoto as like a janitor or something walks into the room and looks around like,
oh, that'd be good. Like a Stan Lee role, like just a cameo for pop-up. That'd be good.
Yeah. Also, someone pointed out in the comment section of that podcast where I talked about it, that Illumination has done live action before. So I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility, but I think it's going to be completely animated.
If they went with your idea, I would think that it would be live action for the real world part. That's
because you'd only need like 10, 15 minutes of real world.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
start, and then at the end when they all get sucked back out.
Yeah, and Jumanji was a massive, massive success, and I could see Illumination rubbing their hands together, licking their lips. They're like, we gotta get out of this. Oh, that's funny.
It's a trope, and I'm not saying I want this necessarily, but it's how, when I saw the voice actors, how I processed it in my brain and tried to picture a movie with Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. And I didn't see any other way than it's a person trapped in Donkey Kong's body, because he's going to sound like Seth Rogen.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I guess because I've already accepted that it's going to be bad. So I'm like, I saw Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and I'm like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be 90 minutes of just the funniest movie I think I'll have seen in years.
Yeah,
Not for good
I'm all
reason.
in.
It's the opposite side of the that's like the so bad it's good spectrum. It's going towards that.
Another thing that I think supports my theory is every single actor in the movie, or that we know about, has only ever portrayed themselves. They've never done like any kind of character work before or any kind of like voice. And I mean,
that's a good point. They don't do voices whenever you see them in an animated
none
thing.
of them have done. Chris Pratt's never done a character or a voice. Jack Black's always Jack Black. Seth Rogen's always Seth Rogen. I mean, Charlie Day, we don't know much about him, but he's always been Charlie Day. Not like Keegan has always just been Keegan. That's how you say it, right? Keegan, that's his name.
Yeah.
They've only ever played themselves, which again is why I'm like, well, all of a sudden you've hired all these actors and you're making them all do character work all of a sudden?
Yeah.
That's a gamble. Or are they all just going to do what they've always done and just be themselves?
That is fascinating.
Yeah, you've done a lot of scientific researching into this topic.
I like movies, and I just try to picture how it's going to play out. And maybe it'll surprise me and it'll be a traditional movie and they'll all be doing character voices, but I don't think so.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like Jack Black as Bowser, I feel like a lot of people are on the side of like, that's the one that makes the most sense. And I definitely get that. Yeah. It's more like when you're first getting in, like when you accept the movie and you accept all of the roles, then you're like, yeah, that's like, I could see it a little bit more than some of the other ones. But like going in...
It's the one that makes the most sense,
yeah,
for sure.
But going in at first, before my brain has processed it, something about Jack Black has been... Like, something about that just broke me. Just broke me.
Yeah, your reaction video was probably my favorite out of all the ones I've seen.
Oh, I died.
Yours and Donkey's were my favorites.
Oh, I haven't watched Junkies yet. I've been meaning to. It was so funny. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've seriously not laughed that hard in so long.
My reaction was just a bunch of me screaming no at Chris Pratt. Like, it got to Jack Black and I was still screaming no about Chris Pratt. So
yeah. Oh, that's good.
As it stands, I'm going to enjoy the meme potential. There was all the fake casting images that have been put on Twitter.
Oh my god,
just so amazing. There's one that said, "Oh, Metal Mario is going to be played by Metal Chris Pratt." It's just good.
No, it's it's already started, and it's going to be good. And I'm with you. Like I don't have high hopes for the movie, but I'm still all in. I want to watch it. I absolutely do. It just seems like
everyone's gonna watch it. Something actually I think Spawnwave brought up to me when we were talking about it is it'd be interesting if they released the movie on the Switch as part of the online service.
That'd be
weird. Subscribe to the online, you could watch the Mario movie.
That'd be cool. That's not unheard of. They released those Pikmin short movies on the service.
Yeah. I don't think it worked out for them, but this is kind of different.
Did they?
No,
I don't even know about that.
Yeah, on the Wii U and 3DS, not on Switch.
Oh,
you had to buy them.
Yeah.
They totally could. It could be part of the expansion pack, or that'd be interesting. Maybe after the movie run, it becomes available on Switch Online.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe just buy it off the eShop or something.
I mean, be the first of many movies in the new NCU.
The NCU, yes.
Yeah.
They will.
They won't. They absolutely won't. I'd love it if they did, but they won't.
Oh, actually, did you see that in Japan, they're already expanding the Universal Mario Studios to include a whole Donkey Kong world?
Yeah.
And I think part of that has to play into the movie and Donkey Kong being in the movie. I think Donkey Kong's going to have a big role, and I think we might even go to Donkey Kong's world for a lot of at least part of the movie, because you would think, because when I first saw that, I was like, why would they add a whole expansion for Donkey Kong? Like, that's out of all the characters. I mean, it's cool, but there's not been much Donkey Kong craze in a while. But Donkey Kong is in this movie. The movie's coming out around late next year. That studio's going to be finished maybe late next year or the year after. So I think maybe the movie's going to be pretty Donkey Kong heavy as well.
Yeah, and like if it's true that we're going to get a DK game, next year or something, and it's by the Super Mario Odyssey devs and all that stuff, it could be they're just really trying to bring the Kong back, just like, hey, this is a legacy character.
They're building a whole theme park for him. Yeah, they're trying something.
Yeah. Because he's like Mario, everybody knows who he is, but it's true. Like, there aren't a lot of DK games. He's not really popular. So maybe Nintendo's like, let's change that. And I'm all for it. Like, take a thing that you have and bring it back. Make it a big thing again. Get people excited. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like, even if the movie flops, I guess, like, it's exciting knowing, like, they're putting stock into this character, and usually that's for good purpose. So that part's cool.
Yeah, the fact that Cranky's in it, that's really telling of, like, the
Yeah.
DK presence in the movie. Because it's not digging really deep, but, like, that's a Donkey Kong Country reference specifically. It's not just like, oh, Mario and he's in the pipes and you play DK and he throws the barrels. It's like, it's at least one step beyond that,
This probably means there's a new Wrecking Crew in the works also.
Brand new.
Bring back Foreman Spike.
AAA Wrecking Crew.
Let's go.
Oh, absolutely delightful. But you know what? It's time for a word from our sponsor. This episode of Arlocast is brought to you by literally 20 minutes before recording. I was in there writing out my notes, coming up with the intros for the guests, getting listener questions. I had 20 minutes to prepare. I'm sorry. I got nothing, and sometimes I'll just try to improv one, but today brought to you by Thumbtacks. Now back to AntDude and Wood. So what else happened in that direct? That's the main stuff. I mean, like, that was the most. I mean, there was a lot of little good stuff. Those are the main ones. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? Ant, anything?
I didn't watch the Metroid trailer.
I did not either.
I blocked my eyes for that one.
Yep.
I'm getting sick of it. Dude, even Nintendo, they just put out a tweet with, like, how many days left until the game comes out, and it showed a character I didn't want to see. Like, it's getting a little bit much.
Did you notice that after my video about the spoilers, now sometimes when they tweet about it, they put a spoiler warning in the tweet?
Good. I'm sure everyone's getting mad.
It could be a coincidence.
I don't know. Like, I remember it being like just a good direct, but I don't remember like really having anything super I think I only really super popped off at Banjo. Everything else was just like, oh, this is really cool. Like, oh, there's an ActRaiser remake. That's cool.
Yeah, Splatoon 3. Hey, looks cool.
Apparently that's really bad.
I know, but it was cool at the time.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of cool things that happened that's not really worth trying to be, nitpicky and like dive into. But the Animal Crossing announcement that they're adding some content in there, the coffee shop, and then a big Animal Crossing direct. That's really exciting, but there's not much to talk about because they didn't show anything.
And we don't know how far they're going to go. Is it just going to be another handful of kind of fun things? Or is it like, oh, hey, it's a big new expansion for the game? Like, because that's what it needs.
I hope they realize that they kind of screwed up the content distribution.
Yeah, they did.
I've been meaning to make a video on it. But I need to wait and see what they do here because they really screwed up.
They dropped the ball. They 100% dropped the ball.
They had a massive, massive hit, and they just did not do anything with it.
That game popped off. It sold however many millions it sold. I remember making videos like 3-4 months. I was able to make Animal Crossing videos months after the game came out, and they would still pop off and do really well on my channel. And usually you just can't do that. But people were so invested. And I think people were really, because the game changed every season. They added things in. You were excited to see what happened, what fish and whatever. And I feel like people really held in with the game for the first couple changes, but then started to realize that it was just fish that were changing, and it was just a couple of little things, and Nintendo wasn't adding anything new. And the little seasonal events were fun, but they were very quick and like, buy a candy, give it to a villager for Halloween, congratulations, see you next year.
Yeah,
collect the whatever that's floating through the air and craft the things out of it, and that's it.
God, there was the one time they brought back Rover for like a special puzzle-themed island that you can fly to, and then they never did that gimmick again. It was really weird.
I mean, what else do you say other than drop the ball? They just didn't actually add anything tangible in for the millions of people that were playing. The game's been out for almost 2 years at this point. They have the money to pretty much make another Animal Crossing game and add it as DLC into this one.
Yeah,
like they've got that. So I'm really hoping that this direct has a lot, guys. Like I need it to have a lot to make up for the 2 years of nothing.
Yeah, and or at the very least, give us another pledge of like what's going to go on in the future. Even though it might be too little, too late, it would at least be good to see them try and just be like, hey, we're gonna keep doing it. I wouldn't even mind a paid DLC if that meant that it was gonna be something
for sure.
big.
Yeah, if it's huge, I'll pay for it. Even if it's like $15-$20 for an expansion. I mean, they don't need the money because of how well the game's done, but sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't like to get my hopes too high, but I don't think they've done a solo direct just for Animal Crossing before. Like, not for the New Horizons. I think they did one for New Leaf, but I think that was when they did the Amiibo stuff, which added a lot of content. So I would hope
They did solo directs. They just did it before launch, though, right? I feel like they had 1 or 2 New Horizons directs.
There was one before launch, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's revealing a game. So,
Yeah.
you know, you'd hope they're revealing something as equally exciting as that last direct.
The fact that it's a direct.
Otherwise, just give it away in the last direct.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like they've released some pretty decent content updates in tweets. So the fact that they're giving it its own presentation at all does bode really well.
Yeah, I'm excited because I really wanted. I played that game for like 200-300 hours. Kim's played for like, I'd have to check her Switch. I think she's scared to show me now, but it's got to be getting up to 1,000. She was playing it last night while we were watching TV. She's still playing it.
Wow.
But
That's the thing. It's still a good game. Like, it's still undoubtedly a good game, but man.
Here's the thing that's weird with that game. People are like, there's no content. They didn't add anything. But to be fair, you play it with base stuff, you'll play for like 200 hours, which is way more than what you get out of a normal game. But it's the kind of game where you really want it to keep going, and it does 100% hit a point about 200 hours in where there's nothing left to do. And you want to keep playing, and they don't have to add too much to give you a reason to keep playing, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me too, it's not even just that. It's kind of more like, it's also that so many people were into it, and all of the big popular games now are all big online experiences. I feel like one of the things they needed to do, make the online better, make it more seamless, make more things for people to do together, turn it into a social thing, have events where people are actually, like Fortnite, where it's like a big thing is happening, you have to be online. Like, that's the kind of thing they needed to do. Like, that's what every other big online game is doing. And they just...
They do it, but just no one cares. Like, there's online fishing tournaments.
Oh, great.
Kind of. Are you talking about the little stopwatch thing?
Yeah. That's like a 1-day event. You have to be there technically.
They added a stopwatch you can buy from the store, and you can like set a timer for like 60 seconds, and everyone goes and fishes and tries to see how much fish you can catch. It's about one of the only thing you can do in the game with people, because once someone joins your island, you get locked out of crafting, moving things, creating, touching anything. So it's literally just come to my island and sit by this fake campfire, and we'll talk on Discord while you're there.
Yeah, New Leaf had some pretty good multiplayer stuff. That's just upsetting.
As much as I found it cute and the realism of someone joining my island, good lord, I got sick of inviting 5 or 6 people over and hearing ding, 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 someone's joining your island, and then you had to sit there and wait through an animation every time. Then they land, and you're trying to say hello, and then you hear ding, ding, ding. Just let people join.
Yeah. God, and if one person's internet connection is kind of faulty, it messes up the entire thing. Like, I wanted it to be good stream potential. There was one time I streamed it and just left my gates open. That was the worst experience I think I've ever had in my life. It was so bad. Didn't get to move for a half hour, and then it crashed.
And then it's like, thanks for streaming, guys.
Yeah, that discouraged people from even doing it. Like, people don't even want to do it online because it's such a pain. I know. I liked the idea of hanging out with friends, and I just didn't want to. It's too much of a pain. It takes too much time, and that's that's one of the biggest ways they really dropped the ball.
I don't know why everyone had to watch the animation. Just have the bell ring, someone's joining, and then let them sit through the animation, fly over the town. You do what you do, and then they just pop in when they're there. I don't get why it has to halt the game for everyone.
Does it really have to load? Is it like really that difficult of a thing?
It doesn't seem like it would be.
No, it doesn't.
Right? I mean, you're just joining someone's dedicated server,
I guess, like, the idea
essentially.
is you could maybe grief someone as they land, but then you just don't allow someone to place items during the landing process, but you can still move. Like, there's ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
Yeah,
not a
100%.
Nintendo's online latency is bad, like some people said. Like, that's just them not understanding the content side of it.
Yeah.
I feel like it just needs to be when you go to that little dodo and you set up the online and open the gates, then it creates a dedicated server, and at that point you can't touch anything, move anything, you're locked out. And if someone wants to join, they join in. There shouldn't be an issue there.
No, it was just a matter of doing it, and they just didn't.
They don't know what they're doing. I swear they don't. Nintendo's so old-fashioned, they just don't understand some experiences, and the online thing, I think they still don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like
they created that system and probably thought it was really awesome and didn't see why it would be an issue.
Yeah, it's like their departments don't share information, you know? It's like they didn't get some of the Splatoon guys to come over. It's like, nope, just the Animal Crossing people. Do you know how to make an online experience? No? Okay, well, do your best.
Good luck.
I mean, they dropped the ball with the content distribution for Mario Maker also, and it just killed that game before they got to do anything like super cool.
Yeah, they kind of did. Yeah, it's like they eventually got some really cool stuff, but it fizzled too fast.
It's a shame.
Speaking of a game, if you guys don't mind if I segue, that has really good online gameplay on the Switch that got some DLC announced in this direct, I'm really excited for Monster Hunter Sunbreak.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
I fell in love with Rise and finished it completely. I did everything I could.
I still haven't done the DLC. Oh, I haven't done it yet, so I haven't finished the story, but I did play it a lot.
I went on record saying I disliked Monster Hunter games in the past. The only one I liked was Stories. And then funny enough, Stories 2 and Rise comes out. Stories 2, I didn't mind. Rise, I freaking loved. Like, I loved that game. And I can't wait. The Sunbreak comes out in a year. Apparently it's a huge expansion. I'm expecting to like almost double the game content by the sound of it.
That's the trend. They always add a heck of a lot.
I'm really excited. Did you get into that, AntDude?
No, I don't like Monster Hunter.
Have you played Rise?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my God.
I played the demo, and one of my buddies has the retail. It looks amazing. I don't know the magic that Capcom used to get the game looking that good.
No idea.
On the Switch, it looks amazing, but I just can't do it. I just don't think it's enjoyable combat. But people tell me the appeal is to squad up with buddies to play, and then usually when that opportunity comes up, I have more games I'd rather play than Monster Hunter. Like the timing just never aligned for me to get into Monster Hunter. I'm interested in Stories. Like Stories is like a single player RPG, but
oh yeah, it's super good. No, you gotta like the combat even by yourself. I'm not gonna try to convince anyone that it's good multiplayer. No, like I fell in love with it by itself before I played with other people. You kind of
I played Monster Hunter Tri. I played 4. I played whatever one was on the Wii U a little bit, and then I played a little bit of Rise, and I just couldn't get into it. People say World is really good, but I think it's all the same. I'm really happy for people to get like a big game, and like the big exciting DLC is always a good thing, especially with all the crossovers they're doing. They're doing a Sonic crossover. That's going to be amazing to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, just from a playing perspective, not my thing.
Yeah.
I've really struggled with Monster Hunter combat in the past. I think the only reason Rise clicked for me was because it's so much more smoothed out, especially with the wire bugs and being able to zip around, fly around, land big attacks. I used to feel like when I played Monster Hunter games, I would miss 90% of my weapon swings. And it was really frustrating. But in this game, it's like I barely ever miss. I barely ever stumble. It doesn't feel clunky anymore. I mean, if you use like one of the big, giant weapons, like it might be a little harder. But even with the hammer, I feel like with the wire bugs and the crazy flips and everything, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's super refined. It's really good. Well, okay, I got one more major thing that I'd like to talk about before we get into listener questions and all that stuff. Somewhat briefly, we have one final chance on this fine day to speculate about the final Smash Fighter. I have been going Sora. I just got a feeling Sora is the right amount of surprising, but not impossible for the final fighter. Because Sora can't have, it fits so well, but everyone says it can't happen because of Disney, blah, blah, blah. That's why I think it's Sora. And I've been hearing rumors that it is. I don't know if there's any real basis to them. But that's where I'm at. Where you guys at? Wood, who's going to be the fighter?
I'm going to back up your theory, and here's why, because I've been thinking about this a lot, just like the Mario movie. It's the last character, right? In a Smash Brothers game that has Ultimate in the title, where everyone is here. Smash is a celebration of not only Nintendo, but gaming, and bringing all these IPs together in one big collaboration. What is Kingdom Hearts and what is Sora? It's the same thing. It's bringing all these Disney IPs together into one big collaboration. So if you're going to end with a character that's going to top off a game known for doing something like that, I feel like it has to be something ultimate in its own right. It has to be something like that that pays tribute to the essence that is Smash. And I think Sora does that perfectly. Love or hate the character. And another thing that plays into that is Sakurai tweeted recently, come watch the direct, whether you like Smash or not. If you're just a gamer, come watch it, which kind of shows that it might be a character that's more broad, that a lot of people might be able to enjoy the presentation of. And again, what's more broad than Disney? And Kingdom Hearts is a huge franchise. I mean, I don't really see who else it could be. So I agree. I think it's also Sora.
Yeah, there's no other. I mean, I had a whole video on this. There's no other character that's like just wow, because we've had so much weirdness. Even if it was just like Doom Guy, you'd be like, oh wow, they did it. Like,
it has to wow. And I mean, like, I don't know, Master Chief wouldn't be as cool, but it would maybe be like an equal wow factor
pretty wow.
because it'd be pretty wow because it's guns, it's Halo, it's Microsoft. And it would line up with the new Halo coming out. But, years down the line, looking back, would you rather play as Master Chief or would you rather play as Sora?
It's not really breaking new ground. That's the thing.
No.
Especially because now we have Steve. We have Banjo. It would be like, it'd be weird, but I'm kind of desensitized to like
Exactly.
I never thought it would happen. Like,
the Microsoft get isn't as exciting as the Disney get.
Yeah. What about you, Ant?
So I'll counter that point. The only character I actively don't want is Sora.
Oh wow!
I think I got so burned from Kingdom Hearts 3. Just the idea of Sora getting the final slot like upsets me. I know a lot of people want him. I'm not the guy. I look at it more from the historical perspective of the significance of some characters' existence. So like, I still think you can make a claim for Crash. I mean, granted, Sakurai's hyping it up to an absurd degree at this point, but I was like figuring Crash, you could have historical significance to Nintendo. Bethesda with Doom Guy is big. Ryu Hayabusa has a shot because Nintendo and Koei Tecmo are buddy. I even saw people throw out Phoenix Wright, which would be really cool.
It would be fun.
It would be fun. If we're gonna think that it's gonna be a final mind-blowing WoW character, instead of Sora, I'm gonna say Goku. Because realistically, at this point, like, what rules even exist anymore? Like, there used to be so many asterisks that we would put on what characters can or cannot be included. I don't see why not. And then Sakurai could show off, oh yeah, Dragon Ball Kakarot just dropped on the Switch. Here's where the moves come from. It's not out of the realm of possibility at this point. If we're gonna talk Disney, I think we can think. I forget Toriyama, whatever the company owns the Dragon Ball copyright, could make something work. And it would be cool.
It would.
It would be
really
cool.
The ultimate. If there is one, probably not going to happen, but like would explode the internet. Goku's the main one. He's the number one.
Yeah.
That would break the internet, but I really don't want Goku. As a huge Dragon Ball fan, I can't imagine fighting as Goku, a literal god, in Smash against Mario and Kirby.
Hey, Kirby's a god too.
I just don't think Disney would get. I feel like the issue with Sora would be they wouldn't be able to do any of the Disney stuff.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I have no doubt. There'd be no Disney stuff. It would just
There's another game. There's World of Final Fantasy that has all these Final Fantasy references. Sora's in there, and there's not a single Disney thing about him. He just does, I think, a Trinity limit, whatever it's called, and that's it, and then he leaves. No Disney things whatsoever. So I don't think they'd be able to get away with it. And, I mean, you're still limited to, like, the Traverse Town from the first game. Cool remixes. That'd be cool. But if the essence of Kingdom Hearts is the Disney stuff, I think that makes it hard to hype up Sora eliminating the thing that made that series popular, is my thought.
Yeah, I definitely don't see. I think he can carry a lot of significance because of his whole connection with Disney, but I definitely do not see even a trace of Disney-ish anything in the game itself, in Smash. Yeah, it's probably Traverse Town. It's a couple fun remixes.
And if they did do Disney, I would almost want Mickey Mouse with the Keyblade.
Yeah,
because I feel like that'd be cooler, but I don't know.
I don't think it's impossible that they could figure something out with Disney for a couple of IPs, but it is highly unlikely.
Yeah,
of course.
Definitely not impossible, because, I mean, people forget, like, oftentimes these things don't happen because, they're different companies and blah, blah, blah. But, like, really, it really just takes the right people in the right office making some phone calls and being like, okay, we'll talk to our lawyers or work something. Like, we forget how much big decisions in big companies really do come down to a human making a decision and having a feeling. So, like, it's true. Like, if, especially now with, like, they're making the Mario movie, working with Illumination. They're in Hollywood a lot more.
Exactly.
Like, maybe
I was
they
about to say
had
that,
lunch with some Disney executives, and Disney was like, and Disney doesn't know anything about video games at all. Like, that's why they've been so inconsistent. Maybe they were like, hey, we heard about this, like, like, we want a Disney character in a Mario thing. Like, you never know. It is possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible. And the relationships Nintendo have built over the years, not only with Disney but other people, even if it's just like passing through here or there, I think it's highly possible.
Yeah, they're giants. They're all giants. They walk among each other.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Pokemon is like the largest franchise in the world. I'm sure Disney would look
another
at that.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying another Pokemon.
Well, I'm
for
just
the
saying,
final
I'm sure
character.
Disney sees that and recognizes that and sees the association with Nintendo and sees the value there in making some extra money if they can.
Yeah, like Mario's the Mickey Mouse of video games. They get that. They know that. And they do like money. Sure. They like royalties.
I don't really have any other predictions. I mean, the other one would be Sakurai himself, but I don't see Sakurai animating himself and designing himself. I don't think he's that conceited.
Yeah, and that's what Mii Fighters were for. That was the whole joke. It's like, oh, you want to be Reggie? You want to be Iwata? Like, now you got Mii Fighters. You can be whoever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope to be excited. And obviously, I guess when this goes out, it'll be done.
If it's not someone we said, then it has to be someone just that you haven't even thought of.
That no one thought of, and yet somehow is perfect. That's what I'm expecting.
Yes.
That was kind of Sephiroth.
It's gonna be some stupid. It's gonna be a Fortnite character. It's gonna be that Jonesy character.
It's gonna be another Fire Emblem character.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be very funny.
That'd be amazing. Sakurai's like, even if you don't like video games, come watch, and it's just another Fire Emblem character.
Oh, that'd be good.
Here's my vote, Chris Pratt.
It's Chris Pratt. Yeah, there you go.
Or it's Illumination Mario, voiced by Chris Pratt.
It's a minion.
That's a minion.
Well, I do believe it is now time for listener questions. Are you ready for listener questions, you guys?
Yeah.
I have some questions.
What happens if I'm not?
You just gotta get through. You just grit your teeth and get through it.
I'll white knuckle it. We're good.
Yeah, you just gotta go for it. It's funny, I was actually preparing very hurriedly before this. I only had time to grab 2 questions because I forgot to ask Twitter for new ones, but I have 2 here. Julian asks, what Nintendo character should take over Twitter next? Ant, start with you.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because Wario's takeovers are really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I can just be biased and say Kirby and just post like cute food photos from every Nintendo game that they can imagine.
A lot of emojis.
Yeah, just a lot of emojis because he can't actually speak. That'd be cute.
Yeah, just cute stuff. Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. That's an interesting question. But I can just fall back to my gimmick on that one, I guess.
Yeah, I think Kirby, that's a good answer because we can imagine it. What about you, Wood?
Mm-hmm.
I want Donkey Kong, but Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong.
Just to take over Twitter. We don't even know what that looks like yet.
It's not even Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen just tweets normal stuff through the Nintendo Twitter.
Just give Seth Rogen the account login for a month.
He's like, hey, I'm Donkey Kong or something. What's up?
I guess there's some kind of new Metroid Dread coming out.
That'd be
Can't do a Seth
amazing.
Rogen laugh.
Oh my god.
My answer. Well, I mean, like Wario really is the perfect one. It's hard to come up with any other one that's like as good because he's just so like in your face and steals everything. I can just pick a silly answer and just say like Samus, because she just like doesn't talk at all. So it would just be a bunch of like really
Just images.
mostly just images, ellipses, you know, just like dot dot dot.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Everything is very
actually pretty
straightforward. There's no
funny.
jokes or anything. It's just getting it done, you know?
I actually
I
kind of
know.
like that.
So many of the characters wouldn't be fun. Like, oh, Star Fox. Like, what? There would be no jokes. It would just be like tweeting serious, like space war stuff.
Yeah. How about Falco? That'd be good. Be all smarmy.
There you go. A little more sassy.
It's like, here's your new Mario Party info, you chumps. I don't know. What does Falco say?
Do a barrel roll.
I'm on your side. Oh, what a jerk. Okay. Next question. Second question. Final question. Soul asks, when making grilled cheese, do you grease the pan with butter or spray? Wood, how about you?
Okay, I'm gonna give a really boring answer here, but I can't eat grilled cheese. It's too many carbs, too much fat.
If you were gonna,
if-
though. You have in your life,
If
though.
if I was gonna, it would be loaded with cheese, and it would definitely be butter, like 100%. I mean, are we making a good grilled cheese here or a gross one?
Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah. What about you, Ant?
It's unfortunate because my answer is boring too. I don't even like grilled cheeses all that much.
Yeah, they're not the best.
You don't like grilled cheese? Who doesn't like grilled cheese?
They're good when you're in school and you have some. But I defaulted to ramen when I wanted a cheap thing. I was
Grilled
never a grilled
cheese.
cheese guy. But I guess butter is always the way to go for anything. The butter spray just doesn't compete. So
A grilled cheese is like I'm feeling sick. Maybe I'm having trouble keeping things down for a couple days, and I just need something greasy to make me feel a bit better.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese or a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
there you go.
Doesn't like. It's like not liking pizza. It's just
I know,
fried.
it's
I
weird.
don't,
just-
I
I
don't
never
like
got into it.
pizza. I don't like pizza.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh,
I try not to
you asked
judge
the
about
wrong
food
people.
opinions. I really try not to because I get annoyed when people judge my food opinions. But I'm sorry, not liking grilled cheese. That's.
It's just because you don't have as like complicated of a flavor palette as we do. That's fine.
It's not that I
That's
don't like
fine.
it. It's
That's
just
true.
if I'm gonna make some food, my go-to isn't a piece of cheese slapped between two dry pieces of bread. You know,
Not
I-
dry.
a
You
craft
fry it
single.
in butter.
Hey,
You
that's
put
true,
good
you're
cheese.
right,
No, I
yeah.
got the flavor palette of a caveman. I will admit it. No, yeah, butter, spray. I don't. In no case in any meal at all. I don't keep spray. It doesn't make. It's just you took something that was pure and good, and you put bad stuff into it, and you aerosolized it, and you made a metal can. It's too far. Just throw some butter on there,
It does make it taste better.
all the way.
Fair point.
I love that butter. Well, a couple more segments here. First one is what you been playing. In this segment, we all talk about what we've been playing. I'll go first. Nothing. Haven't played any. I went on vacation. Have not had time to touch a single video game at all. I really wish I was playing all the Metroid games before Dread came out, and I don't know if I'll be able to, even though I really want to. And I also want to play Monkey Ball because they sent me a package and it came with the game and some cool stuff. And I've never played Monkey Ball, so hopefully I'll be saying I'll be saying Metroid next time we talk. But whatever. Ant, what you been playing?
Let's see. After my during my vacation, I plowed through No More Heroes 3. Got through that pretty good.
I got to get back into
fun.
that. I did want to finish it. It's very fun.
It is pretty repetitive, but I was on vacation,
Yeah.
so I was in the right environment to just mindlessly get through it. I went through Deltarune, the chapter 2.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of Deltarune. I know a lot of people want to claim it's overrated because the fan base could be a little intense.
Get out of here with that.
But just in its own bubble, I love Deltarune and the world building so much. That was really fun.
Yeah, I'm waiting until it all comes out. I can't do the episodic thing.
Oh, in like 6 years.
There was so much of a gap between 1 and 2.
I know. I hope he can pump him out faster, but that was really good. But then last night, I actually finished Metroid Fusion for the first time. I had always started it and just never got like more than an hour in. But last night, I just said, whatever, and then I just did it in a single sitting. And really good. And that was the only Metroid game that I hadn't beaten before Dread. I guess I haven't played Federation Force, but whatever.
The main lines. Yeah. I really wanted to run through them all again real quick. And it's true, yeah, Fusion's not too long. Zero Mission's not too long. Samus Returns is, it's all right. Decently meaty.
Have you played AM2R?
I have not. I really do want to.
Man, That game honestly belongs in the conversation of best Metroid games. It's that good. Yeah.
Oh man, I really do need to play it then. I've been lots of stuff on my list.
Sure.
Lots of stuff. Wood.
Yeah.
What you been playing?
Well, I'll say that my brain's weird when a new game like Dread, for example, comes out. The last thing I want to do is run through all the other ones in a hurry before I get to it, because then I kind of feel burnt out on the genre and the franchise. So I usually stay away when I know something like that's coming. But I know I'm very different in that regard. For what I have been playing, I got Eastward on Switch. I've been working through, which I love. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I want to play it so bad.
Yeah, I downloaded it. Haven't started it yet. It has great art.
So good. I really want to play
Fantastic art, amazing storytelling, and I was actually a little worried about it because the first 5 hours was extremely story heavy, and I was getting to the point where I was like, what is happening here? But now it's opened up to a full game, and I'm really enjoying that now. On PlayStation, I'm playing through Kenna whenever Kim has some time to watch me play because we're playing it together. On Xbox, they just released DLC for World War Z, and my friends from high school and I played that together, so now we're playing the DLC. It's an incredible action zombie game if you haven't played it.
That's the one that's the one with the it's a lot like Left 4 Dead, but they do the big pile-up thing.
Yeah, it's a lot like Left 4 Dead. I actually like it more. It's kind of crazy. They took that property of World War Z and did something really cool with it. It's essentially just throwing thousands of zombies at you at once.
It's like the movie with the piles.
Yeah.
I heard good things about it.
It is ridiculous. You'll see them. It's actually really good, and I think it's going to be a hidden gem. But
is that just on Game Pass?
I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
The
okay.
DLC you have to pay $15 for, but the game is on Game Pass, and the game's great. You'll be playing a level, and suddenly you'll hit this part, and you'll see zombies in the hundreds flying off the rooftops and sliding down the mountains, crawling over each other, trying to get to you. It's really cool. And then other than that, yeah, I mean, I just bounce around. I do the eShop review videos, so I'm always trying to play 20 things at once, but those are my main ones right now.
I want to do those
until
again.
Dread.
I want to do eShop review videos again, and I haven't for a year, and I always want
it's
to.
It's so fun.
It is very fun. I get so caught up in so many big projects that I really wish I could just sit down and play a 5-hour indie game and do a review. I love indie games, and there's so many out there. I would love to be able to focus on them more.
Dude, it's nuts. I go on the eShop once a week just to look at the coming soons and the recentlies, just so I don't feel like I'm missing anything, because there are so many. Yeah. And then whenever the digital gift cards go on sale, I usually get one or two, because I know I will eventually be spending a bunch of money on these games. I guess just to promote one when I have the chance, Wood might have played it. We played an indie platformer on Switch called Tori.
Yes.
It was $1.
Yeah.
You play as a little bird. It's just a very short 45-minute 3D platformer that has really good controls, really solid music, has some creepy elements too, which is really cool. The second one comes out soon. The guy actually hit me up on Twitter and gave me a code, and I want to promote it as a result, so hopefully some people give those games a shot. Tori and Tori 2, really fun, and they're only $1 each.
Well,
the eShop just has so many.
Yeah, I'll definitely be picking them up on that recommendation. If they're $1.
Mm-hmm. That's why my videos on eShop games always do so well, because there's always more to talk about, and people are always looking to find the diamonds in the rough, because 50 things a day get uploaded to that eShop.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 of them are usually gems, and they get buried so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much on there. My list is so big, and I'm sure there's so many more games I could be playing. Yeah, whenever I top up my account, I just do the full 200 or whatever, because I know it's gonna get spent. So I just whatever.
Yeah.
Spend a couple months or whatever. Especially with first party Nintendo games, those are 60. All right, we're on to our final segment. What you been eating? Ant.
Not grilled cheese and pizza.
Not grilled cheese and pizza, yeah, apparently. Ant, what you been eating? Give me, what's a highlight?
So, I guess a big highlight. So I was vacationing off in the greater Seattle area a little while ago. And I was told beforehand that is a pretty big food capital of the country.
Sure is.
Oh my goodness. I was flabbergasted, to use such a big word. The food that they have there is amazing. I probably had at least like 7 different ethnicities of different, like I had Mexican food, pizza. I think the only thing I didn't have was Indian food, and everything over there is just amazing. When I was here before with Nintendo, I was hyping up Hawaiian pizza. Had a Hawaiian pizza up there that had ham and pineapple, but also was covered in cinnamon and roasted almonds.
Roasted almonds.
It was fantastic.
Wow, that's really weird.
So,
trying to process this.
I had a place where they put like Japanese curry on a fried chicken sandwich. That was amazing. Like, so for my one food plug is just the entire greater Seattle area, apparently. Just amazing food as far as the eye could see.
That sounds wonderful. It's funny, Northnin, who does the music for this podcast, it sounds like you and him were vacationing in Seattle at about the same time.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Maybe you ran into each other and didn't even know it.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps you were all eating weird. I'm trying, like, my brain is trying to process. It's connecting with my tongue and my memories and trying to process what that Hawaiian pizza would taste like. It was
the weirdest pizza I'd ever had, but it was good.
I'm fascinated by the idea. I'm going to be processing this for a while. Wood, what you been eating?
I used to live in Seattle. And
did you?
Yeah, I loved them. Yeah, for like a year.
Yeah.
And I loved that it was like a melting pot of cuisine. There was always something different to eat every day. Like you could never run out of places to eat and different things to eat. And it is the complete opposite where I live.
Same.
I live in Texas now and kind of far out there, about 45 minutes away from the city. So my options are Mexican food or barbecue food. And we usually eat those at least once a week because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
As far as what I've actually been eating, because of that, we eat at home most of the time. Not a sponsor, but we do HelloFresh.
Hey.
So, yeah,
Go for it. We're trying to get HelloFresh, so tell us why it's great.
We actually like it. Well, no, they're not paying me. But like
I know, but we're trying to get them to pay us.
Dude, the last 2 times I was on here, I did a sponsored read, and I'm not getting paid because I just love that service.
He just loves.
So
no, we're trying to
really
get it
going.
Talk it up. Like we want them to hear
all
this.
right, fine. I'll give you the quick. And HelloFresh, if you're listening, hit me up.
Hit me up.
We get 3 meals a week, and every week we get to pick what we get. So I just picked for us. We got like meatballs and rice, and I can't do it justice, but they're these really nice meals, and they're meals that
do
like
the ingredients come to you fresh?
they come to you fresh. They come in this big box with
right
ice
to your front
in
door,
it.
right?
And like right to
Yeah,
your front
right to
door.
your
It's
front door. Oh
convenient
my
with
god, I hate that I'm
recipes.
doing this for free. This feels so bad.
Recipes that you can save.
All like the little herbs in there and like everything you need to like make a really nice fancy meal.
That sounds
Something
incredible.
that you really, if you were to go to the store, you'd be mulling around the herb aisle and like the ginger and everything. Like who cares, right? Just get it straight in a little bag and you make it yourself. These really nice meals. So 3 times a week I eat that. But I usually, because I'm trying to lose weight right now, I am succeeding thankfully the last 3 months and getting into shape. I usually sub things out. So when Kim makes like rice and meatballs, I'll sub out the rice for like cauliflower rice because I love cauliflower rice. When we make like the enchiladas, I'll sub out for the low carb 3 grams of net carb protein wraps that I have, and we'll make mine with those. And then around that, I eat very healthy, like egg whites for breakfast. I drink like 2 gallons of water every day. I'm like on a massive health kick right now and have been for like 3 months. So my diet is kind of boring right now, but I like it.
Hey, there's lots of fun, exciting stuff you can do, even when you're eating well.
Mm-hmm.
You actually be surprised. Like I made it sound boring just then, but I eat like French toast for breakfast most mornings with like syrup and whipped cream, and it's under 300 calories. I do sometimes make my healthy pizzas, which taste amazing to me. So I have my like hacks and recipes. I make ice cream, protein ice cream that tastes amazing. I eat that like almost every night. So.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, I was doing better. I was getting on the wagon, eating a lot better, lots of veggies and stuff. I did just go on vacation though, and on vacation,
that
Yeah,
ruins
no
it.
holds barred, you know. And so
Yeah.
I went to the coast, and they've also got a lot of really good food there in Humboldt County, California. And so I had a lot of good stuff. I had like good sushi. I would say the highlight, and people who listen to my Patreon Arlocast will know that I had a very intense experience with a gyro burger when I vacationed last year. So like this place, they do like Greek food, and they have a gyro burger, but it's not like gyro meat. It's like lamb and beef, and I don't know if you know what that is. I didn't know what it was for a long time.
Yeah, I love it. I love that stuff.
It's like It's like
Is
strips.
that Ziki sauce?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is when I hear gyro burger, so it's like it's like a gyro except in a burger. Is there like tzatziki sauce on it? No, it's just a cheeseburger, like mustard, mayo, pickles, tomatoes, and all that.
God.
No, dude, it created like an almost like spiritual crisis in my mind because it was like it was like the best burger I've ever had. And it made me start to rethink like what a burger can and should be, because it's like it wasn't even like, oh, this is like good in its own way. I think it's just better. This might just be a superior way to make a burger. So it was a big crisis for me, and I've been chewing on that for a year. And so I finally went back, and the last couple days of my vacation, I was like, okay, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but I need to try it again. And I did, and it was incredible. And let's just say I had it when they opened. I had the burger and fries, and then I went back for dinner for another burger and fries. And then the next morning for breakfast, I got 2 of the burgers instead of any fries. So
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
I had 4. I was on vacation. I'm telling you,
Apparently.
it's the best burger I've ever had in my entire life. And I was going to go home after that, and I can't have that every day. So I had 4 double gyro burgers with Swiss in a 24-hour period. And it was very expensive.
Intense.
But that was my birthday present to myself.
Dude, it's okay. Calories don't count on vacation. We know
Exactly.
this.
I don't
The
know if
scale
that's
says
true.
otherwise.
No, I think it's true. I think it's true.
this-
I read it on the internet.
Can I help your existential crisis a little bit on that burger
Yeah,
theory?
yeah.
So in Australia, when you have a burger, it's the burger patty that defines the burger. The burger is the patty. And then when you put it into like a bun or whatever, it's still a burger, but it's a burger because of the patty.
Okay.
So example, if you have a chicken patty, it becomes a chicken burger, not a chicken sandwich. Like, wait, am I getting confused? I think I've been away from Australia for too long.
I mean, that's what I call it when I have chicken.
Is it chicken burger or chicken sandwich here?
Chicken sandwich.
I think I say chicken burger, so that sounds normal to me.
I think I
You say.
I want to say
then
chicken
my
sandwich.
theory is completely out the window. I'm very confused.
I feel like
Dude,
most
when you
people
go
would say
to-
chicken sandwich. They don't say chicken burger. I've never seen chicken burger.
I say chicken burger because I've had like turkey burgers and stuff, and
Huh.
It
Yeah, I
has
say
to be
burger.
ground meat to be a burger. It's a turkey burger if it's a patty made of ground turkey. But just like
I mean, you can do ground chicken.
you can, but I've never seen that. It's usually like a piece of chicken. I'd call that a chicken sandwich. That's what I've always seen.
Well,
Oh,
that's the
that's
point
fair.
I was going to try and get to. I was going to try and tell you that you had a gyro sandwich, not a gyro burger.
One
but
could
now I
make that argument, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
would say it's the fact that it was like sesame seed bun, all of the burger fixins, really that. And the fact that it's still mostly beef, I'm willing to call it a burger. And even if not, though, like even if you say it's a sandwich, it's still like close enough to a burger, but it surpasses a burger in flavor and texture.
Oh my God.
And burgers are like my favorite food in the world. So that's why this was a big thing for me. I'm just like, what is a burger? What have I been eating this whole time?
Okay, well, now I need to try one.
It's like you
I'm going to Google it.
yeah, I mean, we have a Greek place here, but they don't do that. It's a kind of I don't know how easy it is to find a place that does just a traditional burger, except with gyro meat.
Yeah, I Googled it, and they all have tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
I think you just found some, like, miracle place.
It's if you're ever in Arcata, California, go to Kebab Cafe. It's
a good name,
incredible.
too.
I could go for one right now. Well, you guys, this has been a very fun episode. We've talked about a lot of very good things. I'm glad to finally talk about the Direct, because that was a while ago, and then I went on vacation. So now we did it. We talked about the
Yay.
Direct, talked about Smash. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
I'm getting tired of this. It's been 3 times.
It's been 3. You must be getting tired. And 4 if you count the Pikmin discussion.
I'm very tired of this. I don't want to do it again, but I'll do it again if you ask very nicely.
Power through it. Thank you.
It was my first time, so I loved it.
You're still fresh. You're still green.
I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. You were the best. Thank you so much.
Well, now is when we all wave to the invisible camera and we all say, bye, everybody. And you have to say it. You have to say it with me. Say bye.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Yes,
Goodbye.
bye. Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
not actually waving.
I'm waving.
Bye.
But wave. You gotta wave.
I'm not.
Just say you're
I'm winking.
Just say you're waving.
I'm winking.
Grilled cheeses aren't that great. Goodbye.
Oh, man. And that is it for another episode of Arlocast. Another big thank you to AntDude and Woodhawker, aka BeatEmUps. Be sure to follow at Arlocast on Twitter for updates and to submit questions and all that fun stuff. This episode was edited and produced by Chris Jones. All the music you've been enjoying was created by Northman. The Arlocast logo was created by Mar Castañeda. Links to all socials, channels, etc. for all guests and artists, along with an address for business inquiries, can be found in the show notes. As with all things I do, I am supported in part by my Patreon patrons, so an extra special thank you to them. Thanks again for listening, and we will catch you next time on Arlocast.
Pizza's overrated.
Oh.